WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at 5:30.
Right now at 5:30, hundreds of arrests and a child sex sting, including dozens here in Michigan. Plus, a verdict is reached in the trial of 3 former police officers in the fatal beating of Tyre Nichols. And 2 teens in trouble tonight for trying to smuggle ants out of Kenya. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Siobhan Klepfer. Let's start the clock on our first 6 minutes of news. And we begin this evening with the arrests of 12 people across the state of Michigan as part of a U.S. Department of Justice operation against people accused of sexually assaulting children. Officials from the eastern and western districts of Michigan say most, but not all, of those arrested here are also Michigan residents. DOJ officials say more than 200 arrests were made nationwide, with 115 children being rescued. In the Eastern District, which is based in Detroit, police arrested 6 people in Belleville, Central Line, Ecorse, and Westland. In the Western District of Grand Rapids, arrests were made in Comstock Park, Grand Haven, Grand Rapids, Eagleston Township, and Muskegon Heights. The Michigan State Police, the State Department of Corrections, and local police agencies all helped the FBI with this case. In Kent County, a jury continues to debate whether or not former Grand Rapids police officer Christopher Schur is guilty of murder. Schur killed Patrick Lyoya during a physical struggle after a traffic stop in 2022. He is charged with second-degree murder, although the jury also has the option of finding him guilty of involuntary manslaughter or not guilty of anything. People supporting Schur and others hoping he's convicted have been demonstrating at the courthouse this week, and police officers are also stationed outside the courthouse as well. In Memphis, Tennessee, new tonight, 3 former police officers have been acquitted of state charges, including second-degree murder in the fatal beating of Tyre Nichols. Nichols was 29 years old at the time and ran away from a traffic stop after he was yanked out of his car, pepper sprayed, and hit with a taser in 2023. 5 officers, who are also black, kicked, punched, and hit Nichols with a police baton. Nichols died 3 days later. The jury took about 8.5 hours over 2 days to find the 3 former officers not guilty on all charges after a 9-day trial. Now, the 3 defendants still face the prospect of years in prison after they were convicted of federal charges last year. The sex trafficking trial of Sean Diddy Combs entered its 3rd day today, with jury selection still underway in a Manhattan federal courtroom. Combs faces federal charges including sex trafficking, racketeering, and forced labor, stemming from allegations that he coerced and abused women over 2 decades. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges. Defense attorney Mark Garagos is with Combs' legal team, and he recently referred to the all-female team of prosecutors as a 6-pack of white women on his podcast. Well, that got him a warning from the judge about influencing the jury pool. In Florida, an alligator killed a woman who was kayaking on a lake in Kissimmee State Park on Tuesday. Officials say 2 people were kayaking when the alligator attacked one of them. She was pulled from the water but died at the scene. Authorities say the alligator has not been found, and trappers are now still looking for it. In California, federal officials are now charging 5 people with crimes connected to the deaths of at least 3 people off the coast of San Diego on Tuesday. A group of migrants from various countries were on a small fishing boat that capsized. 9 others were reported missing, but eventually found on land. Now, the people being charged were waiting on the beach and are accused of participating in a human smuggling operation. Looking at international news, officials are still examining damage from India's attack on Pakistan overnight. Pakistan officials say they shot down 5 Indian fighter jets. India has not confirmed that yet, but says Indian forces struck 9 Pakistani terrorist infrastructure sites. Some of them are accused of being linked to an attack by Islamist militants on Hindu tourists that killed 26 people in Indian Kashmir last month. 2 19-year-old men from Belgium are facing charges of trying to smuggle 5,000 ants out of Kenya. Authorities say the ants were being smuggled for the European and Asian black markets. The teenagers first told the court they were hobbyists and did not know they were committing a crime. The judge is giving them a choice of paying a nearly $8,000 fine or spending a year in prison. No word on what they have decided. Well, the first day of the papal conclave is now complete, with no pope having been selected so far. Black smoke drifted from the Sistine Chapel chimney today, signaling that the group of 133 cardinals have so far not decided on the next Bishop of Rome. Thousands of people came to St. Peter's Square to get a look at the proceedings, even as the actual voting is hidden from the public. Back here in the United States, a federal appeals court ruled today that a college student must be transferred from a holding facility in Louisiana to ICE custody in Vermont. Masked ICE agents grabbed her off the street in Boston in March. Rümeysa Oster is a Turkish student who is studying at Tufts University. The government says the student provides support to Hamas militant group, but has shown no evidence of this. Well, this video apparently shows the moments after wings of two United Airlines jets collided on the tarmac at San Francisco International Airport early Tuesday morning. It was taken by a passenger, and workers can be seen investigating the wing. The Federal Aviation Administration confirmed the collision did happen, but in a part of the airport where air traffic controllers do not talk to pilots. There were no injuries reported. Speaking of flying, anyone flying in the United States now has to either show a, quote, real ID or a passport. The real ID is a modified driver's license, as was created after the September 11th, 2001 terror attacks, but was delayed several times. Passports and tribal identification documents also allowed to book passage. Real IDs can be obtained through Michigan's Secretary of State offices. And rounding up the first 6 minutes of news, a peacock escaped from a farm in Oakland County about 3 weeks ago and has since become a social media star. As people who live in the area spot the bird, nicknamed Bob, in backyards and farms, they take snapshots and upload them to social media. Bob's owner says he got away when she took him out of the pen for a medical checkup. Foster, the owner, has been enjoying Bob's stardom as well, but says she's ready for him to come home. David, I didn't realize that they were such great tree climbers.
Oh yeah, no, they are.
Because they carry a lot of, weight with those tails.
I love the different names too, and it's just Bob.
Bob,
That's
George,
perfect.
Greg, yeah.
We all need a Bob in our lives.
We do.
They are very cute.
Yeah.
Well, weather-wise, I've got something cute as well. I mean, if you like warm weather,
Yes.
70s, 80s.
Yes.
That's on the way, but first, a cool down.
Okay, that's okay. Full forecast right after the break. Thank you, David. And then later, it's called Omega Block, and it can determine how wet or dry a Michigan summer might be. We're going to explain in this week's Weather Wednesday report that and much more. Stay with us.